on, that was a breaststroke. Wait for it.
Welcome to TNT, and we're going to get started here by introducing to you an individual who's, well, he's well known, perhaps well known more infamously, I would say, for his tactics as well as the tactics of the gentleman whom he represents. Would you please welcome our first guest, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
See, somebody made bail, huh?
Was it you, Mr. Heenan?
Was it me?
No,
I wouldn't let these
okay.
people out in the street.
Oh, all right. We're going to show some footage that I understand you brought with you, and it shows us your latest find. Certainly you're a manager of Big John Studd, as well as the likes of King Kong Bundy, but right now here's a peek at whom Bobby Heenan is managing now.
That's correct.
Without a doubt, one of the premier wrestlers throughout the world, making his initial appearance here on Championship Wrestling, is Harley getting the attention of the referee. Is Bobby the Brain, manager extraordinaire, weasel extraordinaire, many would say, leaves the ring area. Centennial with a standing side headlock, and Harley Race has him up in the air. Ah, suplex. Bruno, I would think you know quite a bit about this man, Harley Race.
Oh, indeed I do, Vince McMahon. This is one of the premier wrestlers of the day. He's been around quite a while. He's well known throughout the world. He's got a fantastic reputation. I know I've wrestled him several times during my day, and I'll tell you what, he's as good as they come. He's a tremendous, tremendous competitor.
And there's no telling what you're likely to see in the ring with Mr. Race. All right. You would think a man that has so much scientific knowledge, such as Harley Race, would not stoop to those tactics.
Well, he does. He's got all the scientific moves, the knowledge in wrestling, but he's an extremely vicious guy. Look at that. He'll do anything and everything. Very unpredictable as to what he's going to do in that ring.
And with Bobby the Brain Heenan whispering in his ear, there's no telling what Harley Race is going to come up with.
Well, you know what Heenan's going to do, he's going to try to poison him a little bit more as to Heenan doesn't like his men to go out there and do legal moves, so good, clever, scientific moves. He likes his men to go out there and name an opponent.
Centennial, likewise making his initial appearance on Championship Wrestling, can't get Harley off the rope. Works to the back of the head, but by Harley. Race spinning Centennial into the neck breaker. Harley now measuring his man, and you'll see that quite often from Harley Race. He uses a headbutt like perhaps no other individual in pro wrestling.
He'll show you a lot of things in that ring that not too many other guys will use in that ring. He, like we said before, he knows them all. He knows every trick in the book. Look at that move. And he has been extreme. He's one of the most successful wrestlers in the world.
But Bruno, why handsome Harley Race?
Well, that I was going to say, that's his opinion, or maybe the Weasel's opinion. I don't find him too handsome. I'll respect him for that ring, for what he can do, because he is tremendous. But as far as handsome, it's a matter of opinion. Personally, I don't see him so handsome at all. I see a very mean individual, almost a disturbed man when I look at his face. I'm jealous of one thing. He's got a beautiful head of hair. I will trade that with him.
Handsome Harley Race thus far in complete control over Centennial.
It's a big suplex.
Holds him up there. Oh, what? Drops him. Then drops him down on his head. And the cover, I would suspect that would do it.
Oh,
and it does.
All right, that was a good look at handsome Harley Race, and of course, only right that I guess maybe fitting that we have you on our second anniversary show. We have a nice little cake here, by the way, in front of you. I don't know if you noticed that when you came out. When later on, perhaps we'll have a little.
Nice.
If you can hang around for the cake cutting.
Did you bake it?
Did Alfred bake it?
No, of course not. I don't bake cakes. I have servants to do things like that.
Well, all you Englishmen have little tea and crumpets and stuff and sissified
Yes.
food. I thought maybe you'd spend the day with a Pillsbury Doughboy cooking or something.
No.
Well, it looks like it's been dusted with a little flour from time to time, but and you've been involved in the white stuff before. Here we have a situation here of the World Wrestling Federation magazine, and in the magazine, Mr. Heenan, there's a large segment here on the match that was in WrestleMania involving King Kong Bundy and yourself with Hulk Hogan, and we're going to be talking about that, as a matter of fact, when we come back and have a little bit more of TNT. Back with more TNT, and here is what we were talking about. Here's another shot. You will notice in one of these photos, if we can pick it up here, maybe that's a little better. Where are we? Can you see that? That's, there we go. In the top photo there, Hulk Hogan is climbing up over the steel cage, and you will see right here that a hand of Bobby Heenan right there, trying to prevent him from coming down. Obviously, that did not help the effort of King Kong Bundy, who will, I'm sure, one day have his day. If you would, please welcome our next guest, Bobby the Brain Heenan's King Kong Bundy.
Bundamania, McMahon, it's running rampant everywhere.
Excuse me, did you say Bundy Mania?
Bundamania, yeah, that's right.
Bundamania.
Hulkamania is done, finished. There's one more nail to go in the coffin, and I'm gonna nail it in.
I see. Well, we have some, you're pointing at, that's a cake. As a matter
I'm
of-
gonna have a piece, McMahon.
Well, if you could just wait till after the show, we'll be
I
happy
think
to
I'll probably
invite.
have one now.
No, we
I
have.
wouldn't eat anything these two would be sitting around.
You got a good point there, Bob.
Yeah, I guess maybe you do after all. In any event, we're going to take you back to the night in Los Angeles that I'm sure you will remember for many moons. It's joined in progress, only 60 seconds of it, but it's a steel cage matchup with King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan.
He did it! He body slammed King Kong Bundy, I can't believe it! Off the ropes, Hogan with a big leg drop. And Hogan's proclaiming he's leaving the cage.
And there's not one person in the whole of this arena sitting down, Jesse. Just look at them.
Bobby Heenan's trying to do something out there, but I don't know if Heenan's trying to come up the other side. Here comes Bundy.
Hogan nearly out. Bundy taking a handful of his tights.
Hogan hammering Bundy. Both men standing. Hogan with a big push. Sends Bundy outside. The champion's going up over the top. If he gets out to the floor, he wins the
nearly
match
there.
and keeps the title. Bobby Heenan trying to stop Hulk Hogan.
He's gonna make it! He's making it! All right, he's gonna win!
Bundy going to the door. Hogan's out first. Hogan's out the match.
All right, you can see.
You saw it.
Mr. Bundy, you almost made it out of the door before Hulkster made it over the top. And I guess maybe is that thus far been your story? I mean, you've come just so very, very close of becoming World Wrestling Federation champion.
Do you consider that, McMahon? Do you consider that a victory by Hulk Hogan? When I was standing there in the ring begging him to fight me like a man, you know, the couple times I made a move for that door, it was never until he was laid flat out in the middle of the ring. If you Hulk Hogan proved two things. He proved he can climb better than me and he can run faster than me. Nothing else, right, Bob?
Now, Mr. Heenan, you also had a point earlier on about the cage, the door cage.
I still say this. There's no cage you've ever seen like that in professional wrestling. Hogan, when he entered that ring, climbed over the cage. He never went for the door. We came through the door. I'm 230 pounds, and it was snug for me. He told me when he got in that ring, he says, this is going to be harder than hell to get out of this door. There's something wrong here. Remember? Hogan never made a move for the door. We were set up.
So you feel there was some sort of conspiracy going on
Yes,
with the
by
size of the
Jack Tunney, the World Wrestling Federation, and all the Hulkamaniacs. I'm speaking, idiot. Do you mind? Show us some class. It's bad enough the city dresses you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, you've always been able to weasel out of tight places. I don't mean that the way it sounds.
Oh, I know you don't.
But But surely you're accustomed to being in tight places, so to speak. And I would like to know from you, Mr. Bundy, what your future is, what plans you have of...
I've got the same plans I've always had, man. That's to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And Hulk Hogan, if he calls that shallow victory, if he calls climbing over the top of the cage with me standing there begging him to fight, if he calls that a victory, well, he's no champion at all. And it's just a matter of time until King Kong Bundy takes that belt.
Hey, if he's a man, let him put the belt on the line anytime, any place,
Exactly,
anywhere.
without 15,000
You want to put a
pounds of
cage up?
steel,
I'll
right?
build the cage. If you just want to do it in the parking lot, fine, we'll do it.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining
Same
us.
goes for Stud, too.
Fine. Right, we'll be back with more TNT. Stay with us. Big John Studd's going to be here. Back with more. Beg your pardon?
I was just saying how beautiful that King Kong Bundy doll is.
Boy, that is a likeness, isn't it? It's a
Gorgeous.
mammoth. Before we introduce our next guest, I'd like to once again report an article in the WWF magazine with the Hulkster's cover on it, or likeness on it rather on the cover. But here in Chicago, and again this was WrestleMania, and it was not a good night for you, Bobby Heenan. I think it's pretty safe to say. I mean, you came close. With Bundy almost becoming World Wrestling Federation champion. You came ever so close of our next guest winning the prestigious Battle Royal until he ran up with the likes of Refrigerator Perry.
You know I did at 2 in the morning?
Beg your pardon?
You know I did that evening at 2 in the morning?
No idea.
Then you can't judge what good a night it was for me.
Well, in any event, I think it's very safe to say that it was not a success. Would you please welcome our next guest, Big John Studd. I don't think this sofa has ever had as much poundage on it as it's about to have. Can you?
Like I said, who cares?
All right. Sort of. When you come out on the set here, you're sort of huffing and puffing. I guess that's just normal. Your lungs must be so massive.
Puffing,
you and Bundy.
puffing.
You know, one of those. I guess not.
No,
No.
I was kind of angry at you for mentioning that refrigerator. I kind of embarrassed him and dumped him. In fact, I kind of feel like I took on the whole NFL and embarrassed the whole NFL. The WWF beats the NFL, and then you're coming here and saying Bundy didn't look good. I didn't look good.
I
What's
didn't say
wrong
you
with
didn't
you?
look good. No, I didn't say either one of you
He just
did not
rubbing
look
it in
good.
on me. We didn't fare too well.
You came very, very close. I would think, for your standards at least, Mr. Heenan, you far exceeded what your anticipation was. I mean,
What do you mean far exceeded?
Well, it's my
We're the
personal-
greatest tag team in the world. We can do anything. We got rid of Andre the Giant. We set out a goal. It took us a long time, but we're very persistent. We got rid of Andre the Giant. It's just a matter of time before we get rid of
we got
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan on the run.
Hey, the
Everybody knows
refrigerator,
that.
yeah. Refrigerator
Where's Hulk
lasted
Hogan?
one match.
all right, well, in any event, we have some footage here of you two as a tag team against the British Bulldogs in a non-title match. Here we go.
Non-title, notice that.
Now that's a little bit arrogant on the part of Bundy. Bundy did not hook the leg of the Bulldog.
They want to hurt the man. I think Bundy could have possibly pinned the man, but I don't think they're worried about winning the match. They're concerned about hurting someone and crippling someone so they can eventually take the titles from them.
Good point in that this is a non-title matchup, so if you can hurt one of the Bulldogs, then, Mr. Ladd, your assessment is if you can hurt one of them when the titles do come up for a mandatory title defense, it'll be that much easier to beat them.
That's so correct. And plus the fact, then it would kind of embarrass them and force them to put the titles up if they can just put it around in that publicity.
Whoa, look at that! Studd missing, and he was coming in there pell-mell. But now Studd tagging Big King Kong Bundy, and Davey Boy has been on the receiving end of a lot of punishment, and I would think, Bruno, by this time, too much punishment.
Well, there's no question. The one thing he cannot afford to do is to be caught in the corner as he is right now against these two giants, because they can, either one of them can do an awful lot of damage. They've got to try to stay away from that corner and stick closer to each other as far as quicker attacks or use combined efforts against these two.
All right, here we go now.
Bruin just said the experience comes out when two veteran wrestlers trap one man in the corner like this and won't let him get him out. And look at Bobby the brain hitting. He's instigating it right on.
Big John Studd just hammering away, and look at this! Dynamite Kid with actually a sleeper holding Big John Studd, but King Kong Bundy knocks Dynamite off. This match is getting a little bit out of hand. We thought. Did you see that? The referee was just whipped down to the canvas, I think, by Big John Studd. Oh, no. Look at this. Here comes the avalanche. They're going to set him up just like they set up. Look at this. Go!
As Joe saying goes, the worm just turned.
Well, I think, yes. Oh, wait a minute. Little dissension there. Whoa, baby, look at that.
You know why? Studd did a very stupid thing. He pushed the referee before he threw one of the Bulldogs out of the ring. That's not a matter.
Look at this dissension, though, between these two monsters.
Yeah, I see that. Bundy's upset.
Bobby the Brain is great if he can calm these two men. He can also get crushed.
All right. Hey, have something to laugh about.
What'd you show that for? Well, that happened a long time ago. What's forgotten?
It happened a long time ago. After WrestleMania, this has happened. Happened very recently, and I wonder if you two would care to comment. Now, Bobby Heenan,
I'd be glad to comment on that. You're trying to stir some trouble, aren't you?
No.
I'll tell you what happened on that piece of footage. These are two competitive athletes. They want to win so bad. They're not like the Santanas and everybody else that pat you on the back. Well, Ernie, we just blew it like that. No, these men want to win, and they want to win bad. You see football players come in off a tackle or a good touchdown. They're banging on each other. That's what these men are doing. There is no animosity and no dissension on this team. They're the best of friends, and you got my word on it. First of all, I don't have to explain nothing to you or you people. Period. Drop it.
Well, in any event, it's my personal...
You know something, McMahon? You and all these lowlives here, they don't understand the intensity that people like me and the Giant Stud have. When we do something, we do it right. And when it doesn't go quite the way we want it, we get a little bit upset.
I would think you would be upset over something else. Both of you gentlemen are extraordinarily gifted athletes. I mean, massive. And your athletic prowess is probably second to none in the WWF. I think, however, that you would be upset at one thing, and one of these days, I predict you're going to wake up, you both are going to see the light, your careers will absolutely go to the top as they should be, as soon as you dump Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh!
Absolutely.
Shut up. Dump me.
McMahon, I don't believe you.
I mean,
You've never been dumped.
you have been dumped before.
You name one person that dumped me.
Paul Orndorff.
Okay, name two people that dumped me then.
Okay.
Big deal. That guy, because he didn't know what he was doing.
And look
he
what's
never
happened to
dumped me.
Orndorff's career. As soon as he dumped you, he went right to the top.
What do you think he was when I was manager? He was on the top because of this man and because of me. Nobody ever dumped me.
Wait just a minute. Look, would you please...
Ever dumped me? Don't try to trip me. Don't you ever do that again.
I didn't try to trip you.
Don't get so excited. What are you hiding?
I'm not hiding nothing. I don't hide nothing.
This is the greatest match
I don't like to be on television and be
brainwashed
embarrassed.
if you
I
think
don't like to be brought out here and be tried to make a fool. I don't need you to make a fool out of me.
All right.
Listen to the peanut.
In any event, Mr. Heenan, you're going to have your problems with these two, and we'll get back with that, as a matter of fact, and also talk a little bit about Andre when we return. Stay with us for more TNT. Tito Santana, scheduled up next. Back with more TNT. 2 years ago, on this very show, it was some sort of our very first show, of course, and we had as one of our guests a gentleman whom we're going to introduce to you now 2 years later to the day. Would you please welcome wrestler extraordinaire, Tito Santana.
Anniversary. Second anniversary. Where's the bell? I just had to stop and get this to help celebrate a little bit.
Hey, isn't this nice? This is where we can. Alfred, this looks like it's.
They told me that. They told me that all you had to do was you didn't hit the corkscrew. No, I think you have to peel this.
Have to peel that back.
Yeah.
Alfred, you're better at peeling things back. I am.
I wish
sure.
it was the years.
Beg your pardon?
I wish it was the years. I could.
The years. Okay, well, this is, oh, all right. This, and then we do a situation like this. And then, you can tell this is really good stuff. just like the show itself, it's gonna. What's the way? Let's take you. We're going to have some footage here in a momente. Here we go to the footage while we'll be sipping along. Let's take a look at Tito Santana here on TNT just 2 years ago. The first show. Here we go.
Unbelievable. An extraordinary matchup. During that matchup, Tito, there was commentary relating to perhaps neither you nor Adonis would ever be the same after that matchup because of what was taken out of both of you from a psychological standpoint, certainly from a physical standpoint. How do you feel about that now?
Well, Vince, now that I just got through listening to that, a lot of thoughts went through my mind because I was really hurt after that match. I went through a lot of physical punishments, so did he. And a lot of people didn't think that I'd make it back to my 100% capacity.
Did you think that?
No, I went through a lot of thoughts, and I had a lot of negative thoughts in my mind at the time. But Vince, I've recovered. I'm 100%. I'm up on top of the world again, and I'm ready to keep on defending that belt.
Well, no doubt you've got one fan, little Chris Beavers, back in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the young man who had lunch with Tito Santana. And we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with perhaps commentary and no doubt a great deal more here on Tuesday Night Titans. We thank you very much. Oh, and no doubt the mailbag has just arrived, Lord Alfred Hayes. Yes, the mailbag, and perhaps you would be later on reading some choicey tidbits, all the way perhaps from England.
Well, if a postman delivered like that in England, I'd fire him immediately.
God, it was that bad, folks. It was that bad. Not that it's good now. But would you please welcome our next guest? As a matter of fact, the gentleman who at this very seat next week is going to take over as your new host of TNT. Would you please welcome Mean Gene Okerlund?
Good idea.
I must say.
You won't believe what just happened out in front of the studio.
I'll take a little more
What
too,
happened
Vince.
there?
I ran into an 8-year-old kid smoking a big, long cigar like this. And I said, you're a little young to be smoking a cigar. The kid says, this is nothing.
Just a minute.
Let me finish the story.
How come I wasn't
doing out
invited to the party? You guys are sitting out here belting down the sauce pretty good. How come I wasn't invited? Maybe I'll just take this cake and share it.
Huh?
Maybe I'll just take it to Bundy instead.
Take it to Bundy. Wait. No! Oh, no!
Oh, my God.
Weasel!
You.
Alfred! Oh.
Alfred, are you all right?
Alfred. How's the cake, Alfred?
Get him.
Just look at that.
Oh, my God. Just stay with us. We'll be back with more TNT.
Hey, just a minute.
Welcome to the Making Game, the only game show that offers love as the grand prize. And now, here's your host, Vince McMahon.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, every day is Valentine's Day here on the Mating Game, so let's get started and see what Cupid has in store for us tonight. We've got 3 very special bachelors who will be competing for the affection and attention of a lovely young lady who's hoping to find that
perfect mate. In order to find that special someone, she'll ask our contestants, I'm sure, a wide and perhaps wild variety of personal questions. She'll then choose her man, and our fun mating game couple will go on a dream date that we'll tell you about a little bit later on. But we will tell you this now. If our couple will return after their date and fill us in on all of the gory details, then they'll split a prize of $10,000. It's our special kiss and tell bonus. Right now, our young lady is waiting backstage in a soundproof room, and we're going to let you and our studio audience here meet our bachelors. Bachelor number 1 hails from Dixie. His name is Jimmy Hart, and his nickname is Mouth of the South. Jimmy's field is sports management, and when he's not at ringside, he likes to listen to rock music, make his own clothes. It's also rumored, by the way, that Jim is has one of the world's largest collections of hush puppies just this side of the Philippines, as well as a pair of fire engine red bikini briefs, one for every month of the year. Just recently, his sunglasses were nominated for Shades of the Year honors. Would you please welcome Jimmy Mouth to the South Hart. Something on you, did you? All right, now let's move over and meet, if you would please, Bachelor number 2. Bret Hart is a professional athlete of national repute. Bret's idea of a good time is a happy pull. He also holds the record for writing the most unpublishable letters to the Playboy Advisor column. And among Bret's many colorful hobbies are watching miniature golf, checking his mail, and tying his shoes. Would you please welcome Mr. Bret Hart? Haven't seen you in that. That looks great. All right, we're now ready to meet our third and final bachelor, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. The Anvil is so named because of his physical dexterity, which allows him to move just like one. And at one time, he had a career in the world of football, but he was forced to give it up because of the record number of unnecessary roughness penalties he was called for. Anvil enjoys rump roast, AM radio, and bright colors. And his pet peeve is reading books with more words than pictures. Would you please welcome Jim the Anvil Neidhart? Ladies and gentlemen, our three special bachelors, one of whom is going to be lucky enough to win a dream date with the wonderful lady we're about to meet. So let's all give her a warm mating game welcome to Phoebe Zimmerman. Welcome, Phoebe.
Can't wait to get started and meet the guys.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. All right, Phoebe. Before you start with the questions, I'm going to let each one of the bachelors say hello from his seat. Could we hear, please, from bachelor number 1?
Hello, dollface.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Perhaps we could also hear from bachelor number 2. Are you there?
Yes. Hello, Phoebe. Who loves you, baby?
Ooh, what a tiger. Grrr.
And bachelor number 3, could we hear from you, please?
Hello, my child.
I think I'm in love this time.
You really do, huh? All right, Phoebe. I know you're probably impressed by all 3 of the bachelors, actually, but you can only pick one. So start making up your mind by firing away with questions, if you would, please. And remember, this is a family show, so go ahead.
I'm so excited. Okay. Bachelor number 1. How do you know when it's the right time to kiss a girl for the first time?
Well, you see, there's certain parts of your body, man, that send off that signal.
And then, man, my feet start moving, my legs start grooving, and then my old lips, they start crooning the words that every girl wants to hear, man. That's when I know it's the right time.
All right. Bachelor number 2. I know how long you can last in the ring, but how long can you last in the bedroom?
Well, let me put it this way. I can last in the ring for at least a couple hours. But at nighttime, I could pretty well say from my past experiences that I could go all night long.
Oh, yeah. Number 3. If I was to see fireworks while I was making love to you, would I more than likely think of a Roman candle, a sparkler, or a wet fuse?
Well, let's put it this way. Are you familiar with the nuclear crisis in Russia with a deep, burning desire that leads to a maximum climax, an explosion?
Okay. Back to you, number 2. Do you consider yourself to be more of an arm wrestler, a leg wrestler, or a tongue wrestler?
Well, I can wrestle with my arms, and I can wrestle with my legs. But since I'm from a very cold climate in Calgary with the mountains, my nose used to always run, I could always lick my nose. I got a lot of practice, and by the time I grew up, I could lick my eyebrows. So I'd say I'm a tongue wrestler in all facets of that category.
Yummy.
Yummy?
Okay, Bachelor number 1. What is your idea of foreplay that can't fail?
Well, first of all, man, this never fails. I'd like to take you over to my apartment, turn the lights way down low, take out some baby oil, man, and oil up my megaphone and stick it right in your ear and sing the most beautiful love songs you've ever heard in your life. You know, that always works for me, man.
Suppose that we were in Alaska on our first date, and we were stranded in a snowstorm. What would you do to keep me warm, number 3?
What does the anvil do to keep a young woman warm in a desolate, cold, freezing igloo-type area? Many things, but since this is a family show, I won't get too intricate, but it wouldn't be nice.
Let's go back to number 1 again. Why would I want to make love to you more than the other bachelors?
Well, I think Bachelor number 3 just came down with a case of TB. I think that's called twin bellies. And the guy over here, number 2, he's got used to this greasy kid stuff. Me, hey, baby, the Don Juan of professional wrestling, Jimmy Hart.
Don Juan, huh?
Number 2. If I was a lovesick girl and you were Dr. Feelgood, what would be your cure?
Well, you see, what you're dealing with here is I'm known as the greatest technician in professional wrestling. And what I would do if I was going to make a poor little girl like you feel better is I'd slap a sleeper hold on you, put you to sleep, and throw you over my shoulder, a fireman's carry. Then I'd run you up to my room and I'd ravage your body.
I beg your pardon?
I'd ravage your body.
Finally, number 3. How do you make the earth move without the help of a bulldozer?
You're getting real tricky with these questions. Once the women in America see the anvil, things start moving, pictures start flying off the wall. All kinds of things are happening. Romantic things.
Well, in any event, Phoebe, why don't you have a seat right here? And while Phoebe is trying to decide which lucky bachelor is going to win the mating game, let's pause for some important message, after which we'll be right back. Stay with us. Phoebe was making the tough decision about which one of our wonderful bachelors she's going to go out with. We know she'd probably like to tackle all 3 of them, but we do have our rules, and we're going to give Phoebe a little more time while we tell you what the dream date will be. Are you ready for this? What a great time you're going to have with Mr. Right. I mean, I truly believe this is the best date we've ever arranged here on the mating game. First of all, you'll find yourselves aboard a shiny bus bound for beautiful 3 Mile Island, Pennsylvania. A grand place to visit any time of the year, but maybe even more so this time of the year. Once there, you'll be greeted by island residents in native attire. And you'll enjoy a cookout in the backyard of Mr. and Mrs. George Chitwhistle, who will be out of town for the weekend. But wait, baby, that's not all. We've spared no expense in putting together this spectacular marathon of love. After the fabulous barbecue, you'll be able to walk down to the tri-state bowling lanes where you and your date will serve as honorary pin setters for the Keystone State Duck Pin semifinals. And of course, after that, you'll probably want to towel off with a little of our special, musk-scented towelettes. Then it's time to kick up your heels at the Shriner Dance in Bake Sale, taking place at the UAW Lounge on Route 35 and 178. Next, you'll enjoy a late evening snack and nightcap at the Mr. Quaker Convenience Store, where each of you will be given a roll of quarters so that you can eat to your heart's desire. And while there, you'll be able to rent a Viewmaster to look at exciting slides of all the state parks. And finally, it'll be time for Betty Bye and those special moments in the boudoir. Yours will be the quick and comfortable Ben Franklin Motor Lodge. And your dates will be the, right across the interstate and the secluded Mad Anthony Wayne Comfort Inn. And remember, if you come back and tell us all the sordid romantic details, you'll both split the grand prize of $10,000. There you have it. Part fairy tale, part fantasy, all in the name of love. All right, Phoebe, time is up. Tell us who is the lucky guy. Is it Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2, or Bachelor number 3? Remember, you can only choose one.
One? You've got to be kidding. I'm not going to go out with those morons.
What? Hey. Wait, you're not going to go out with any of them at all?
I'm getting out of here. Color me gone.
Hey, man, let her go, Vince. Let her go. What a real bow wow. What a real dog she is, man.
Send a mother back to the dog shit.
She was good enough for the start.
That's right, man.
She
We're the
wasn't
Hart
good
Foundation.
enough.
Nobody turns us down. Nobody turns us down.
Done 3 studs like this.
That's right, baby. Jimmy? Come on, who cares about
Forget her,
what a
forget
dog she
her.
was. What a dog, man.
Wait a minute.
Forget her, it wasn't our
Just
idea.
sit down if you would, please, because...
No second chances.
Gentlemen, we do apologize for this, but, well, nothing like this has ever happened in the entire history of the mating game. Phoebe is out. She's disqualified for being, I think, a poor sport.
Stupid.
Well, whatever you think. However, she loses out on her chance to split $10,000 with one of these bachelors. However, fortunately, our wise producers have always had a contingency plan for almost any crisis, and especially such a disaster we've just screened. So we have thousands of girls who really wanted to be the Bachelorette. And as a backup, we have a special backup date, and one of them is standing by backstage. He has been patiently waiting in the wings and listening to the responses, I'm sure, of our 3 super bachelors. So you'll be able to make hopefully she'll be able to make, as well as you'll be able to make a wise choice among the 3, and, well, we'll have a substitute for the very ill-mannered and ill-tempered Phoebe. So please, everyone, won't you give a warm welcome to our substitute, Miss Yolanda Jones. First, Yolanda, have you heard the answers given by our 3 bachelors?
You bet your buns I have, hon. They were all wonderful, but I can't wait to get my hands on Bachelor number 3.
Bachelor number 3 is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Anvil, come on Wait a minute. You're not going anywhere now. Let me remind you that you have signed a contract, all three of you did, and when you met your bachelorette, it clearly states that you must go out on the aforementioned date once you have met the lady in question. So therefore, it is now official. It is an obligation, and isn't she lovely?
Yeah, Junior, what's that on her face?
Tough break, Campbell. The best man won, though, baby.
You earned it. Yeah, this is real cute. I'm laughing my guts out.
Anvil, 9, Hart, 3 Mile Island. This is a dream come true, Vince. No kidding.
It's a nightmare.
I'll give you all the $10,000 if you'll go out with me. All the money will be yours, big guy.
Pretty good now.
You're going to give him all of the... That is something on her face.
It gets burned off.
That's a nice bit of hair. You have hair on it. It's kind of...
yeah, but
$10,000. You get all of the $10,000.
Well, Jimmy, I know the foundation can use it.
She looks like Morgan Fairchild.
3 ways, baby. Come on,
What do you
baby.
think, huh?
Come on.
Huh?
Okay.
All right. Is it love grand? That's what makes this show so special. The love that just happens on the spot. And I know both of you just can't wait to get aboard the Love Bus. Bound for that date to end all dates. You'll both be up all night writing in your diaries after that special night. And Anvil, did you ever believe in your wildest dreams that this romantic event would really happen? Don't try to talk now. It's all right if you're too choked up to speak. I'm getting a little misty-eyed myself. This is Love with a capital L. Yolanda. Anvil, you're beautiful. There you have it, romance lovers. Another perfect match on the mating game. Until next time, this is Vince McMahon, hoping that Cupid pays you a visit real soon. And back with Phoebe. And Phoebe, you have a couple of words just to say?
I'm really sorry for storming off like that, but Vince, they were so... Can you blame me, huh?
Well, you guys blame her? I don't think so. No. All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't you hold the microphone here and you pretend like you're Jessica Lange, okay?
Oh!
And we'll catch you later, huh? Take care. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Please. It's all yours, Gene. Oh. She's all yours.
So long, everybody. I think I hurt myself. Oh, lovely. Phoebe, come with me, sweetheart. I've got a hell of a plan.